Welcome to Christian D1 Mindset. Today we're going to be talking about lukewarm Christian. And in this world, many people get lukewarm Christian mixed up. Lukewarm Christian is between hot nor cold. You're like in the middle. You're in the middle, you know God, and you know what God can do. But you living in the world. You in a situation where you're right between, slap down in the middle. And we're going to be reading Revelation 3:15 through 16. It says, I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot or cold, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. So let's go back to where it says, I wish you was either one or the other. The worst position that you can be in is be in the middle. There's no such thing. If you was to die right then and there, if you was a lukewarm Christian, you was in the middle, you was between God and the world, you would go to hell. Why would you go to hell? Because it's either hot or cold. God doesn't say it's in the middle. It's hot. It's either you live for God or you live for the world. Light and darkness cannot mix together. Light and darkness cannot mix together. So he says, because you are lukewarm, I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. Meaning, if you was to die that day, you're going to hell. Jesus also tells us you're better off living fully committed to one or the other, God or the world. You cannot mix light and darkness together. In verse 17, we're going to go back to verse 17. You say, I am rich. I have acquired wealth and do not need a thing. But do you not realize that you are pitiful, poor, blind, and naked? What does that verse mean? You say you are wealthy. You say you are rich. But you do not realize that you are rich, pitiful, poor, blind, and naked. That verse means in the world, you can have all this money. You can have all these cars, these clothes, all this fancy stuff. But spiritually, you are poor. You are naked. You are poor, rich. For what it says down here, without God, there are still many people who are rich. They are billionaires. They still do suicide. Why does that? Because they never have the love of Jesus. You can have all this money, you can have all this fame, you can have all this wealth, but that means nothing if you have the love of Jesus. If you don't have the love of Jesus, you're still missing that love, you're still missing that peace, you're still missing that joy, because money is temporary. You can have all this money and get such cars and stuff like that, but without love, without peace, without joy, it means nothing. So I'm going to show you 3 signs that you are a lukewarm Christian. Now, to remind you, a lukewarm Christian